In this video, we are going to talk about the 5 things I love and the 5 things I don't love so much in Naples, Florida. And we're going to start right now. I am Dr. Ron Repesi with Coastal Intl Properties, your real estate doctor, bringing you information about the Naples and Southwest Florida community. So let's start with the kind of the negative first. So with regard to the 5 things I dislike about the Naples, Florida area, number 1 would be the heat. It does get pretty warm here, especially as we get into pretty well the June, July, and August timeframe. So it does get pretty intense depending on where you're coming from. The heat can be a factor. The wonderful thing is there is something called air conditioning. And so we stay indoors quite a bit here. Plenty of places to get into the shade. Of course, you know, we do have the Gulf of Mexico. It gets kind of warm in the summer, but still can be refreshing, especially May, June, kind of latter part of June, early July. So there are places and safe havens. There's lots of swimming pools to jump into to keep cool, but it does get really hot here. So number 2 is the humidity. This affects the gals. The humidity does. I'm someone that perspires, so that's an issue for me when I get in my car, again, with regard to heat and humidity being something that women dislike because their hair gets all frazzled out. And so that is a factor here in Naples, Florida. It does get pretty hot and humid. So that's not my favorite. And I've gotten a little bit better, kind of leaning down a little bit. And so that's helping too for someone that perspires. If you're someone that doesn't sweat very much, then that may not be as much of a problem. But humidity is a factor. So number 3 is the bugs. Definitely the mosquitoes come around again toward the mid part of the summer. I have a little puppy dog who you may hear in the background here. I walk him quite a bit, and sometimes I don't enjoy it so much with the mosquitoes. And we do have something called palmetto bugs. In fact, I meant to get a little example of what that looks like, but you'll know right when I tell you, otherwise known as cockroaches. They can get fairly large and something that we do have here. And so many people use pest control companies to help with that. So it's not the worst thing in the world, but we do have the bugs. There are some gnats called no-see-ums that you can't believe can get through your skin. You can't see them, and they make you itch. And they do bite you somehow. So the gnats we call no-see-ums, they're here as well. And sometimes you run into some gardener snakes and sometimes some nasty ones out more in the Everglade area, not so much where I live in the heart of North Naples. And again, I'm from the Northeast, so I'm from the Philadelphia area, lots of friends. Shout out to all my friends in New Jersey, out in New York. So, you know, you've experienced some of these things, of course, but just little points of interest with regard to Naples. So now on to number 4 of the things that I don't love so much about Naples, Florida, is that it gets crowded. So we have people that we call, not someone, but people that we call snowbirds. So the snowbirds, they like to come in. Now they come even earlier, October, November, but mainly you have the 90-day rentals between January, February, March. So those timeframes, it gets quite busy here. And over the last, I don't know, 10 years now, I've been here almost 20 years. We definitely have seen, and definitely in 2021, 2022, with the opening of the marketplace coming out of COVID, we've really, even the Canadians, we've had a huge influx. So this year, even my daughter who has her learner's permit that now is a little bit timid to drive, we're coming out of the height of what we call our season here in Naples. And so now I'll get her back behind the wheel because she turned 16 in September. So we got to get her on the road. So the traffic can be an issue. Parking can also be a problem. We do have something called a parking pass. If you're a resident in Collier County, you can put that sticker on your car, which allows you to park for free in the parking garages and many of the streets around in downtown. So that is really awesome, but it does get crowded. So when you're looking to move to the area, if you're looking to buy a home here, definitely something to think about. The seasonality from a business perspective and also from an enjoyment perspective. Restaurants get busy. You will need reservations in season. Again, that's predominantly January, February, March. Into April sometimes. Really the cutoff tends to be around Easter. We do have quite a few 90-day rentals as well that hit those 3-month periods in time. So anyway, let's move on to number 5, and that can be the storms. So we do have something called hurricanes here. So that is something I had never experienced before. And the first year I moved here, I had to take something I'd never used before, and I'm kind of handy, and it's called a hammer drill. It actually allows you to penetrate into cinder blocks. So I actually had to put plywood on my new home that I'm sitting in, actually. And so that was something new when it comes to hurricanes and some of the concerns in preparation. The good news is with hurricanes, you usually do have some warning. We're not faced with the whole earthquake thing or so much in the way of tornadoes. We've had a couple little things here, but not like you see in the Midwest. Also, with regard to real estate, something to be aware of, we do have something called flood zones. And so I am in a flood zone X, and flood zone X, you don't really need any additional flood insurance. If you're in some of the other flood zones, flood zone AE or A, you're going to need to look into that. That may cost you additional. You're going to need to check with your mortgage company and what have you. So that's definitely something in the real estate realm that you're going to need to consider depending on how close you are to the water, the waterfront area. You can go to floodsmart.gov. There's many websites where you can look at flood zones for your interest. And so that's something to consider. So the storms, and we do get a lot of lightning. It is the lightning capital. So having electric suppressors, the systems to prevent any damage to your electronics in your home. You can have Florida Power and Light will actually add a surge protector right onto your meter for very little money. So they're just things to consider. Now, let's move on to the things I love about Naples, Florida. And as I said, I've been here for quite a while. And so I really do enjoy the area. And the one thing, and number one of the things that I do love is the architecture. There are some just beautiful, beautiful homes here. We have the Mediterranean style and such diverse architecture for, the company Coastal International. There's the coastal contemporary architecture, which I really, really love. Things are really clean and new and vibrant, really nice, beautiful colors. We have the mansions as you go into from the moorings to Aqualane Shores, all the way down into Port Royal, of course, where the actual monster-sized mansion homes that you can see from the backwaters, which are really just incredible to see homes that are, I don't even know, 10, 15, 20,000 square feet in the realm of sale prices from $5 million to $60 million. So it's just amazing to see some of that. Just a lot of fun to show friends that come to town, just kind of that high life of the rich and famous. Royal Harbor's an area I love very much. So the diverse architecture is really neat. Just the beautiful surroundings is something I really love. So number two of the things I love is the beach in the Gulf of Mexico. So the beaches here are just magnificent. I used to go to Long Beach Island and New Jersey. At that time, it wasn't really well known. Actually, Long Beach Island is fairly popular now. It's really kind of a cool area. But the beaches here are really wonderful. The water is warm enough to get into, which in up north, it was really difficult to enjoy the ocean there. So the Gulf of Mexico is really warm most year round. And so you can really enjoy just kind of wading out, laying on a raft and just enjoying. But the beaches are wide, white sandy beaches. You can take a ride up to Sarasota, has beautiful beaches in Siesta Key. There's just so much to do here and enjoy with regard to water sports. I'm a jet skier, so I'd love to get on wave runners and go out and ride. You have parasailing, water skiing. The kids love to get on the tubes and go around. So if you have children, it's just something you'll have a blast here, something I really, really love. And of course, don't forget the sunsets. The sunsets are magnificent. Absolutely, you can go down to Marco Island, take a day trip there and have a meal out on the waterfront. It's just beautiful. We have the Ritz-Carlton. We're actually the only area that has two Ritz-Carltons. So we have Ritz-Carlton right on the water. We have Ritz-Carlton Tiburon that holds some of the elite golf competitions here in town. I'm not really a huge golfer, but there's tons of golf here too. So let's not forget that. Number three, festivals and art shows. Something I've become a little more interested in, but there's just tons of activities here. We have the Fifth Avenue area, 3rd Street. That's kind of the walking district. It was the original, kind of the only area where tourists and people who live here year round would hang out, from restaurants to wonderful shops. They have the Seafood Festival, the Naples Art Festival. They also have the Naples International Film Festival, which is really neat. And we have Cambier Park, where there's the amphitheater, there's all kinds of events that go on there, from concerts to even ministries. So it's really, really neat. Cambier Park is just an awesome place to hang out. And so the festivals and activities that go on here, Seafood Fest is yummy. That's something really, really to check out. So the Seafood Fest, but you can go around on the segways and take tours. There's the trolley. You can go around and see all the areas, not only Fifth Avenue and 3rd Street, but right up the road from me is Mercado. We have all different restaurants, from Rocco Tacos to Bartulia. We have the nightclub scene for you youngsters. I don't go there quite as much. The Blue Martini. We got Rocky Patel cigar bar, just called Burn. So there's lots of fun things. There's a lot of events like Cars and Coffee that go on there when it comes to festivals, something that they've really expanded on, not only on 5th and 3rd and Mercado now. Certain days, during the month, they have these different events that go on. So just tons and tons. So moving on, number 4, I kind of touched on it, is seafood. So the food here is magnificent. There's restaurants that you could go to a different one almost every night. So it's just phenomenal. If you love shrimp, if you love oysters, if you love seafood in general in Naples, Florida, you're gonna love it here. Plus the fishing. I didn't even mention that for activities, but the seafood's quite amazing. Stone crab, grouper, snook, tarpon, largemouth bass, largemouth bass, sailfish, just so delicious. So there's so much to do. Like I said, the Seafood Fest, the chowder, it's just incredible. So if you love seafood, Naples, Florida, definitely. I always love the Merle and blue crab that comes. I guess they import a lot of that, but I still love to go to Pincher's Crab Shack. Shout out to Pincher's. And go there and crack open the crabs, which we did with my family. Just so much fun, so much fun. Number 5, I'm kind of rambling, but number 5 on my list of things I love, it's just a small town feel. It has changed since I first moved here, but it is clean, it is safe. I have 2 teenagers. Again, they're older than the pictures that are behind me, but 15, 17, soon to be 16 and 18. Brianna and Dominic. Love them dearly, but for a small town feel and a safe area to raise your family. And if you don't have children, it's just a great area. From the gated communities, that really has a nice feel if you like that, or you can move out a little bit into the Golden Gate area, or other areas where you can have land, have a little more privacy, a little bit more room. I've become real comfortable with living in a gated community. I love the camaraderie. I love coming home and seeing everyone walking their dogs and just enjoying life on bicycles, rollerblades. It's just really, really cool. So it's definitely something that I really, really love. There's just many different activities to do too, as I've already mentioned. You have the golfing communities and just so much to do. We even have ice skating, of course, and there's a roller skating rink. There's all those things, but it is a small town feel. If you go over to Miami, or some of the more densely populated areas, you'll just feel that immediate congestion. And I don't really love that. I love a little more quaintness. I like my privacy, a little less crime, of course, although we have a really diverse population. But there are definitely some of the things I really, really love. If you would do me a favor, punch that like button. That would be great. If you can punch that like button and subscribe to my channel, I'd appreciate it. I am your real estate doctor with Coastal Intl Properties. When you like that button, as I continue to push out these videos that hopefully you will enjoy, I'll begin to do a little bit more. We'll do a whole gamut of topics that hopefully you'll find really enjoyable. But when you punch that like button, it's great for the YouTube algorithm. I'm Dr. Ron Repacy, your real estate doctor. If you do need to reach me, feel free to contact me. Send me a text message at 239-331-5886. Again, 239, our area code here, 331-5886. You can also email me, and that is LuxuryRealEstateDoctor@gmail.com. Again, LuxuryRealEstateDoctor@gmail.com. And I hope you enjoyed that. There's some of the things, my likes and dislikes about Naples, Florida. For anyone looking to buy a home, reach out to me. It's a wonderful, wonderful area to live. I have no regrets. I enjoyed my upbringing in the Northeast, but I do love it here in Naples, Florida. So with that said, folks, this is Dr. Ron, your real estate doctor. I am going to sign off. I appreciate all of you who watched all the way through. This is a new venture for me, and I'm actually really enjoying it and hope to throw more and more content and throw some editing, throw some fun things into these video edits, and hope you really enjoy it. Again, God bless you all. I'm going to sign off. Dr. Ron Repacy, your real estate doctor with Coastal International Properties.